Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about one of the projects that I've been working on called Pathwise. It's from a game called, Pathwise from Poptropica, and essentially it was like a little mini game. But let's just head in and let's play the game. So in order to play the game, it is 2 players, and so it's like a little strategy game, and so we'll need to open up a new tab to kind of simulate that. So this is the place where you can create the room, and then on the other account, so you can tell the difference between the black and blue tabs here. And then we're going to join this room. So once we join it, then it says on your turn, click any tile to change it to your color. Your goal is to create a pathway that connects the 2 sides of your color. So let's see, so it's your opponent's turn, and so we'll just switch over to the opponent. And so we're green, so we're trying to get from these tiles all the way over to these tiles. So I'm just going to start off here, and just to like demo the game, I'm just going to pretend like this blue can't go anywhere. But you can really place your tiles anywhere. It doesn't necessarily have to be in a row like this. For example, I can jump over here, and once green makes a connection, so like it doesn't matter if blue makes a connection from green to green. It matters if green makes a connection to green, and it says green won the game, and then your opponent won over here on the other side. So then you can click to request a rematch, and then over here it says your opponent has requested a rematch, click to request. So then now blue starts. Green actually started the other time. So like this little black window started that last time. And so then it switches back and forth, and then once you're done, then you can just leave the room. And then once everyone leaves the room, then the room expires after 2 seconds. And so, boom, there it is. So there's no need for sharing links or anything. You can just join. So let's go into a little bit of, how was this done? So here's the links to the Poptropica. I'll include this link in the description here. And so there's the TypeScript Node.js that kind of hosts the game, but then TypeScript is also the front end code. So then they share some code between the front end and back end. And so here's the tool. So in order to communicate between the game server and the clients, then it's using socket.io. And so that just makes it a little bit easier. TypeScript, and actually to display the game is a cool thing that MIT made called p5.js, and we'll check that back in a little bit. Here it is. So p5.js is just a JavaScript little framework. They have a TypeScript typing library too to help you out. It's not perfect, but it definitely does help. And then Webpack is the thing I used in order to bundle everything into 2 separate files, one for the backend bundle and then one for the front end bundle. So then all the different files that you're about to see all get bundled together into one giant file. So let's start off. This is a little bit overwhelming. There's a lot of code here, but basically the back end over here starts off in app.ts, and so then it's just setting up some Express stuff. But what we really want to talk about is the socket code, because everything else is just kind of syntax and of TypeScript and just kind of separating out the different connections. So let's say we want to send an error to the front end. So like let's say, for example, that we wanted to, here, let's join a game real quick. Let's just demo like what an error would look like. Oh, leave room, join one that's in it. So ready, if you try to click on it, it says it's not your turn. So the client actually isn't reporting that error. That is actually the server. So if we go over to our communication constants, then we can see all the uses of game.error. So we can see that the the server over here is actually doing it, and then the client is receiving it. And the receiving is like socket.on, and it has to take in a string. So that's why I'm putting toString there, because it's an enum. And then it emits this like observable. I mean, it's called a behavior subject, but that gets communicated, and it basically propagates all the way to the game code which is over here in this sketch.app. So this is where we start displaying things. So then this just says show error message, and it sets this variable, and then this variable is then read all the way over here saying by display HUD, and for like heads up display. And when we go under display HUD, which for some reason it didn't scroll correctly, then we can see that the error message is displayed for a limited amount of time. And that eventually just goes away because the timeout will go and set it back to undefined. So using these types of like communications, we can get from the front end, the back end to the front end, and then let's say the front end wants to send some code. So basically, if we search for like a part where the client is connected, so these client files are the ones that it's not necessarily the game, it's just kind of like business logic, then it will emit a game request rematch. And so then it will contact the other side on the socket service over here, and then it will say, okay, let's go and tell the user room, let's go find the room and tell it, hey, the user has requested a rematch. And so basically using all this different types of logic, we can do that. Something that's very interesting that isn't part of the networking is the pathfinding algorithm. And so then that is found in the game utilities folder. And so it's a recursive function, and it's not the most efficient thing in the world, but it does get the job done. And so, because this is all kind of just proof of concept, obviously it's not for like tens of thousands of people, it's just a fun little project. And so basically it just grabs like the starting and end goal points and then sees if it can find a path between the two locations. And so that's how it filters out, oh, okay, only the blue ones. Is there a connection from blue to blue? Is there a connection from green to green? And so using a balance of like the socket and like the business logic with TypeScript, then we can have a fully functional game, and more than one person can, like up to like lots of people can play this game. And so it's just a really nice thing, a little tribute to Poptropica. So thank you for watching all the way to this point of the video, and have a great day.